never wrap my head around the people that be like, body count don't matter, but then they be the ones lying about their body count. Like, they'll be the ones that be like, body count don't matter, because even if it did, like, I wasn't going to say the real number anyway. Like, why even lie about it if it doesn't matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it doesn't matter to you so bad, why don't you just say your real number? Why are you lying? And then if you feel the need to lie about your body count, what are you, like, why is it that you need to lie about it anyway? Like, because nobody lies and says their body count's higher, unless you're, most 9 times out of 10 they do that, and it's usually to other. They think, like, for some reason having it in everybody in the whole city is like a flex. I don't know, because I will never be going for that. But it's always the people that be like, body count don't matter, that be lying about their body count. Or
yeah, that's pretty weird to me, to, you know, for all of people to be always say, well, body count don't matter, because, you know, we've been having with her a long time, and people have always
you know what I never wrap my head around,
and I've always thought that was a,
let me just say, no pick me.
Most women have a body count
because people never tell the truth. Like, if it doesn't matter, then why do you care, and why do you lie when somebody says it, right? Why do women, for example, go down? Now, I think that men are goofy when they boost up their body count, because the first thing that I will say, and maybe it's just me as an older man understanding exactly how you're supposed to move as a guy, and I come from a certain age and a certain demographic, is I've always believed that it was more necessary for you to keep it G and not even talk about, you know, how many people you've been with, and that doesn't mean that you're supposed to be with a lot of people, because I don't agree with that either. I think that it's too dangerous for people to be out here sleeping around and being messy and being in the streets and all of that stuff. So let's be clear about that. But guys that always wanna say that they've had this many hundreds and thousands, and they're using it as bragging, in which they're trying to boost the number more than what it is. And it's like, who are you trying to impress? None of these guys are gonna marry you. Nobody is gonna be around when you with your wife. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I would say that I think it's way better the lower, because, you know, it's so many people that's turned out. There's so many people that got diseases. It's a lot of people that don't even understand how they supposed to move no more, because they just been in the streets too long and they've been messy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't agree with sleeping with a lot of people, whether you're a man or a woman. For women, if the number is I don't even want to give a number, bro. I'm gonna stay away from that right now.
never wrap my head around
Shalom.
the people that be like, body count don't matter,
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahawashi, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect, noise in this gospel pride, of the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahawashi, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. It was going to be edifying, fair use. I'm not making any money off this video. This is just, you know, to entertain, or not entertain, Salakia, for provide edification and educate our audience on biblical eschatology, which is prophecy. All right, the ways of the Bible. This is a video. This young lady talking about body count don't matter, and how body count, you know, how body count don't matter, but yet the people that saying it don't matter have the biggest body counts. And, you know, she was on point with that, because you live in a society that pushes whoredom and adultery, and they don't follow the laws of the Heavenly Father, which proves that this is why the system has to be totally done away with. All right, because this is a telltale sign that the heathens can't get salvation, because they can't rule in righteousness, man. You in a society that women are given rights, men are totally beat down, women are pedestalized, okay? Men are totally stripped of any form of manhood, and being a man in a world like this is highly looked down upon, because, you know, feminism, the tenets of feminism, which the tenets of feminism creates whoredom. Just be real with you, because they got a thing what they call women exploring their sexual, what is it called? Women exploring their freedoms, or their it's a term they use. I can't recall it right now, but basically women they explore their sexual liberation. There we go, sexual liberation, which women don't have a right to be sexually liberated, because the result of it is a bunch of children out of wedlock, a bunch of whorish activities, a bunch of diseases flying around, and just out of order shit, man. So the average woman that you deal with, she already got a heavy body count on her, man. And the crazy part about it is, these be the same women telling you, or asking you, what do you bring to the table in order to make their lives substantially easier. This society is totally backwards, man. All right? Because, I mean, you got women as young as 23 years old, 24, 25, that got Buck Rogers numbers when it comes to bodies, man. I mean, seriously. The average woman you meet from the time she's 18, unless she's a virgin, she's probably already got 10, 15 dudes on her, man. And then you have to multiply that by 3. You know? And that's being nice. This is why the scriptures tells us, man, overall, you can't give your strip to these women, man. Because ultimately, they're all used up. They're spoiled. Okay? You got what they call the spoils of war. And that's basically the American woman, man. Mainly the black woman. She's a spoil of war. And it's gotten so bad now, even the Edomite woman is a big hoe, man. Okay? Because, see, liberation. Women's lib. You know, you had a demon by the name of, what's her name? Not Margaret Sanger, but it's the other bitch. The fucking eugenist. No, not her, the CIA operative. Her name is Gloria Steinem. All right, which she was a CIA operative, and she basically got together with a lot of these political parties, man, and then they pushed women's lib, and that was really for the so-called white woman. Okay, because she wanted to be liberated from her husband and be able to make her own money, and the elite's like, you know what, we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We could tax both parties. You know, since the woman wanted to be stupid and be over the man, yeah, we'll give her sexual liberation, and you know, we could tax her dumb ass at the same time. So henceforth, fast forward, by the time they're 14 years old, instead of being promised to a man, you know, or kept in, you know, like the scriptures say, keep the daughter in straitly, lest she abuse herself with overmuch liberty. Instead of keeping a watchful eye of your daughters, you allow them to wear skimpy clothing and go out and play the field, and they go to college. By the time they go to college, they already got 5, 6 bodies on them, because, you know, high school, everybody's having sex with each other, you know. But when she go to college, that's just when the floodgates of harlotry opens up on them, man. You know, because a lot of them experiment with other women. A lot of them get trains and threesomes ran on them and all that other shit. You know, a lot of them go full-fledged gay. A lot of them deal with homosexual men and then wonder why you got a record-breaking disease of AIDS on the campus, man, all because she decided to lay with a moat, man. All right? And by the time you meet her in her 20s or 30s, when she's completely used up, she's already 50 bodies in the game, and now you got to come and put a white dress on this bitch, man. Hell no, that ain't how that's supposed to work, bro. All right? That's not how Yahweh Shem Shai intended it. This is why America has to be destroyed, because the heathen, clearly they can't even rule. Now, when you go into these Middle Eastern countries, like places like Saudi Arabia and, you know, Afghanistan and Iran and, you know, the more of the Arab world nations, they women are more in order, you know. They wear their heads covered. They subservient to their men. They believe in polygyny, you know, until they come to the West, and then they become big hoes, man. You know, like one young lady I know, you know, real good young lady. She actually subscribes to the truth. You know, beautiful young lady. And she went to school over here. But after her 4 years of school, you know, I don't even think she ever touched a man. She never touched a man. Her parents was high. She's from one of them Asian countries. She's never known a man, man. You know? Oh, fuck. Ooh. Got it. She's went to one of those Asian, she lives in an Asian country, man, and she went to school over here, did what she had to do, and her parents said, nah, fuck that, you gotta get your ass back home, you know? And that's the best thing they can do for her now. Now you can't even travel over here because the visas are so expensive, but that was a good thing, man. They saved, you know, the father saved the virginity of the daughter, you know, because like I said, you go to school and college over here, you get around these musty ass black women, and these Edomite women and these Latin women, then she gonna turn your fucking daughter out, man. That's why it's such a curse to have women here and to have daughters here, bro, because you know your daughter's gonna play the field. All you women out there that's out there, all you women are harlots, man. You know, now you got sisters out there that sincerely repented. This doesn't apply to you, okay? Because you know we was all grown up in a wicked world, wicked society, and we just, you know, we adopted to the culture. That's the culture here. So a lot of people, this is what we do. So ultimately, Yahweh Shem Shai saved you from a world of destruction that way. But you got women in the truth that jump brother to brother, man. Like seriously, you know, that comment board, this comment board, that comment board. Here you got a husband in the truth, but yet you jump into a whole nother man, flirting with another man, and that's just a big no-no, bro. That's off as hell. And if you in that spirit, the Lord is gonna get him. The Lord is getting ready to get rid of a lot of Israelites, man. May 2026 be the year that the Most High really start opening up on our people.
Never wrap my...
You know? But anyway, long story short, this place got to be destroyed. Our women are completely out of order, and body count matters to a man, all right? You know, I remember when I was younger, I used to ask women their body count all the time, and they always say, I only been with like 5 or 10 guys. I'm like, look, bitch, what is it, 5 or 10? You know, and when she say 5, then you got to add 5 more to that. That's 20, you know, 25 bodies right there, man. Add 10, that's 50. You know, and these are young women too, man. I mean, women in their 20s that's working on their 31st body. You know? Got more bodies than she got fucking birthdays, man. And that's a sad thing. Call all y'all about your shot. 2 trucks, 144. 441, 441. And I just passed another intersection that got 144 on it. That's the spirit of the Lord. The water outside to confirm everything that's being said is true. You know? But anyway, quick precept. Didn't want to harbor on this too much longer. This is the book of Sirach. Sirach, that's the spirit. I just saw 144 like 3 times in 5 seconds. But this is the book of Sirach 26, and I'm going to start at verses 8. It says, a drunken woman and a gathered bride cause it great anger, and she would not cover her own shame. That's the average Babylonian woman, bro. Go to the club, they get drunk, they have sex with different dudes, and they got men at home, man. You know how you call your chick and she don't answer the phone? She say, I'm asleep. She ain't sleep. She's probably with another dude, man, because these women got multiple options. This is why you men out there, man, you get so caught up in these women because you don't exercise your options to have more than one woman, bro. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go out there and get you 1,000 women. We're not saying that. But as a man, you should at least have a couple of options just in case, because they got options, and let them tell you different. All these women got options, all right? Even the women you so madly in love with that got your babies, look, nigga, she got options, bro. You know why? Because that's just the way that it is. Because social media, it all panders and caters to the woman. All right? The simps, you know, they'll do anything. Bro, the average woman get probably 100 inboxes a day. And I'm talking about she can be literally a 4 on a scale of 20, and she would get more play than you. And you can be a flat out high value man, handsome, you know, got your head on your shoulders, got money, know the scriptures. You can be the perfect Jake. And she got her options outweigh you 20 to 1, bro. Because the society is gynocentric. It's catered to the affection of women. So they already got a head. They have a advantage in the game, bro. This is why they can replace you ultimately if you're not operating at their beck and call. So in most cases, you're really at their mercy. When your woman is being faithful to you, you're really at her mercy, man, because that shit can change in a day. She's faithful to you based on how you make her feel. But once those emotions change up, and you make her feel some type of way, she already got her eyes set on the next dude, because that's just the fucked up world we live in, unfortunate as it is. This is why in the kingdom, we're going to get new women. We're not going to have this problem in the kingdom. All right, you be able to go and live your life and do what you got to do, and you can have multiple wives, and you ain't got to worry about none of your women stepping out on you, man. Okay, you can come home to your wife or one of your many wives, because you're going to have a lot of wives in the kingdom. Come home to one of your wives, man. You go to her place, and the box is gonna be just like you left it, man. All right, she ain't gonna get the, she may get hot for you, but she ain't gonna get the hots to the point that she gonna be looking at another dude like, damn, I ain't seen my husband in a month. I ain't seen him in a month, so let me go ahead and freak off on another dude. That ain't gonna be like that in the kingdom, because your women are gonna be solely your possession. Your concubines, they're not gonna step out on you either, man, because those gonna be your women. But here, you go a week without popping your woman, she gonna fuck another dude. Or if she find out you got another woman on the side, she's gonna think that she can do it, bro. That's why I tell most chicks I tell them straightforward. I say, look, baby, you ain't gonna be the only one. You know, even if you is the only one right now, I'm a man, I'm gonna do what I do. And she can accept it or don't. Because I'd be damned if a chick dictate to me if I can put my rod in another woman when this bitch got a body count that's older than me. So I ain't trying to hear that. You know, unless you're a virgin again, you can't dictate shit. Even if you can't dictate a goddamn thing to us. You know, and that's just what it is. Shouldn't pass the line to these damn women, man. At the end of the day, a woman, look, women, bro, most women know that Jake deal with multiple women, and they just want you to tell them. It ain't the fact that you dealing with them that they get mad. They get mad because they want to just know who got the heart, or they want to know who looked better. But I guarantee you, man, you know, and I'm not saying go in and be stupid, be wise, because you ain't got to tell her. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand do. But overall, as a collective, if she find out you got another woman, man, I've rarely known a woman to leave her man because he got another woman. Now, she may go step out on him, and then depending on how crazy head over heels she is for the nigga, she might not do a damn thing. She like, okay, you know, and that's the point that you need to get it at. You know, look, I'm going to my side piece crib. And they got to understand it, because we're coming into a time now that either they going to accept us having multiple women, or they going to have to get the fuck on, you know? Because it's like, look, bitch, you can do bad without me. Go ahead and fend for yourself, man. Go head up out there with a legion of troops and a bunch of mad grapists out of the madhouse and goddamn where, and see how that fare with you. Versus you, because I got 2 other women in the house. Like, get your ass out of here with that, you know. And we men, bro, we can deal with as many women as we want to deal with, and they can't say a goddamn thing about it. If she don't like it, she can leave, easy, you know. Jake gotta reclaim their manhood, man. You know, like little young woman I'm dealing with now. I already told her, I'm like, look, I deal with other women, baby. Like, shit, I ain't gonna bring nothing back to you because I'm very careful what I do. But it's just like, if I decide to deal with another woman, that's my fucking prerogative. I can do that, you know. And they don't like it, oh well, they can kick rocks. They ain't gonna, that don't make me wicked. They make you wicked because you don't accept it, because that's in the law. Anyway, moving on. It says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Yeah, and that's the problem. They have too much liberty here. They're able to get up and go. They go to work. They got work husbands. You know, they blowing a boss. You know, no, I'm not saying this is all cases, but this is a great deal of cases, man. You know, and they husbands are too damn simple to believe that. Oh, no more woman. Okay, you think so? I would never say that my woman wouldn't do that, man, because this world gives them the opportunity. Okay, women are like children. You got to monitor them. You got to stay on them, stay on their heads, dictate their decisions, say where they can go and where they can't go. You find out they like that a lot better when they're told what to do, because ultimately when a woman is around you, essentially she don't want her brain to work because she wants you to think for her, and that's what you got to do. You know, think for it. Tell her what to cook, what to make, what to put on, you know, and that's just how it worked. It says she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he had found a fountain and drink of every water near her. You know what that means, right? As the elder Bishop Tazadakba always say, suck sex. It says drink of every water near her, and by every hedge when she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. So knowing that your woman get down like this is very disturbing. So you got to have enough maturity as a man to really be able to stomach that, because the average man will bug out if he know what his woman doing, because we have the spirit of jealousy in us, because we're territorial creatures. That's how we're created, you know. So when you get involved with these women, bro, you got to have in the back of your mind, have a low expectations. Because if you give them too much expectations and you think they're going to do right, they're going to disappoint you every time, bro. All right? A woman cannot be left up to her own devices, because she will make the mistake every time. Period. So you can't have high expectations. You got to be in the mindset like, I know this bitch, she was a hoe, or she did this and that, and, you know, she's liable to step out on me. So have that in the back of your mind and try not to bug out. Because if you look hard enough, you will find something. Trust me. But it says the grace of a wife delight of her husband, and our discretion will fatten his bones. And there's not too much discretion among our women today. It says a silent and loving woman is a gift from the Lord, and there's nothing so much as a mind worth well instructed. You know, the ones that follow your lead, you know. Verses 22, it says, a harlot should be accounted as spittle, but a married woman is tower against death to her husband. Yeah, you know, a harlot. So you're supposed to, you know, they're worth spittle. In the ancient world, your father spat in your face. That was very shameful among the woman. Like the Most High told Miriam, he said, look, if the father that spat in your face, you wouldn't have this type of ideal. But you got these men out here that simp for their daughters. Or not my daughter, man. No nigga better not touch my daughter. But yet your daughter is the college campus thought, man. Jumping every down on every ride. And then when she get with the nigga that she actually like and breaks his heart and he wants to go upside her head because he loves the bitch. And then all of a sudden the father and the brothers want to beat up this dude because they didn't check the woman, bro. This is why you got to be extremely, extremely careful. You know? Amos 7, and I'm going to start at verses 17, and I end it. Therefore, thus says Yahweh, thy wife should be a harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword. What is a harlot? A whore. And thy land should be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. And bam, here we are in America, a.k.a. Babylon the Great, man. All right, so I'm going to end it, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Lord's will, you will edify to the next lesson. Shalom.